Hello, everyone. I'm Edith Wolek. I'm joined here today by DeDee Cai, business performance coach, and she's the founder of Fit to Profit. Hello, DeDee.
Hello, Edith. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Amazing to have you as one of our experts. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do now?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the question. And I often get asked this question. And of course, I have many different versions, but I'll save you the long version today, just to give you the shorter version of why I do what I do and how I landed here. So to be honest, it has been a personal journey, to say the least, that I started my business is really not knowing what it is that I really want to do, in life. To be honest, I was told as a immigrant to study hard, get a job, and then ultimately that's how I'm going to find happiness. And believe it or not, I did all of that. I mean, I graduated college, um, landed a really decent corporate job, and I was in a decent position and had everything that you can imagine. What I realized that wasn't there was the happiness that I was told that would, I guess, come along if I did everything correctly. And so long story short, I just stepped out of the corporate space, and then I had opportunity to support my mom as an entrepreneur with running her salon businesses. And also, long story short, she got me on as a partner to open a restaurant business with her. And along the lines of really trying to pursue what it is that makes me happy, what I discovered, what I was also burnt out at the end of my entrepreneurial brick and mortar space. And what I realized was that the reason why I was burnt out is because I was doing everything according to someone else's expectation of me. So expectation of going to college, expectation of getting the corporate job, expectation of X, Y, and Z, and doing what I was told. And of course, after a while, I realized that I was being true to myself and what I really want to create in the world. And so I just really, with the burnout, took a really big step back, spend really a lot of time, I want to say at least another couple of years trying to figure out what I wanted to do by just focusing on myself, investing in myself in a very different way, where I was taking care of myself on a physical level, healthy eating and exercise and, mental health, all of the things. And made me realize was that one of the reasons why I was not happy is because I was doing all of the things instead of really taking care of me. And that was the ultimate reason, and I want to say pivotal moment for me, where I really switched to the business model that I have now, where everything is virtual and I have the freedom to do whatever I want in terms of location and time and all of the things to also raise my family, is that I can stay true to myself and doing the things that I want to do and how I want to do them, without any pressure. And I want to say, when I say pressure, is pressure, of course, from, my family, of course, social pressure of how things should be and how I should run my businesses and all of the things. And yeah, to be honest, I land into coaching. I believe, coaching found me, it's what I believe. And everything came full circle, because when I first really embarked onto going to school and wanting to figure out what I want to do with my life, I actually wanted to be a therapist. And so what I do believe now I do coaching is very similar to what I want to say a therapist would do, and all of the mental health problems that we get to overcome are semi-similar. I mean, of course, the methodologies are different, and like where there's no real interventions in terms of prescriptions and things like that. But the way we speak about mindset work, and also I want to say mental health, and the way we take care of ourselves is very similar in a way that is, it's all physical, mental, emotional, and also spiritual. And so what I do today is I work with entrepreneurs, not only really engaging in like really positive self-care, um, really looking at the business from that standpoint where the CEO, I believe, if she's not taken care of, she's not going to be able to perform in a particular way so that she can put the quality of work that she wants to put into the world. And so for us, that's what we are all about here at Fit to Profit, is really teaching the entrepreneur how to really get herself in a really fit level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and also physically. And honestly, that's all like a really short version of why, you know, I got here. And ultimately, one of the reasons why I also made a declaration or a vow to myself to really help people really see their true potential is because I lost one of my best friends to suicide at the week of my wedding. And I really, really, the rest of my life want to teach women to really own their own value, and that they are able to do whatever it is that they are, you know, want to do, as long as they believe in themselves. My girlfriend, I wish that she saw the potential in herself, but she didn't. And that was also one of the reasons why coaching is going to be the vehicle that I can really create the difference and the impact in the world too. So yeah, like talking about it being a business, but honestly, it's also a calling for me.
Amazing. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. And second of all, you have such a powerful message you want to share with everyone, you know, the world. And can you tell us a little bit about what does your brand stand for?
Yeah, so as I have mentioned, my brand, you know, stands for, you know, fit to profit, fit being fit on all levels. And so, as I have mentioned, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And profit for us also, it's what's really interesting, why I love what I do, is not so much on a monetary level. As I have shared with my journey too, like I had the great job, I had the better, you know, vacation time and all of the things, but I was not happy. So profit means it could be, you know, abundance of time with family, which is, that is ultimately, that's my level, that my measurement of success is being able to have time to spend with my family. And so, yeah, profit is on the arrays of things that each and every person wants in life. And it's a great reminder that, especially in this 18 months, this past 18 months, it's really for us to consider what really makes us all happy and what really matters most. Because, you know, profit, money, you can't bring it with you.
No.
Now, however, when it's time to go, I really hope that every single one person can really take their last breath and say, I have no regrets. And like research has it that actually that's not the case. Most people, when it's their last moments, they regret working too much. They regret not having enough and spending enough time with family. They regret not traveling the world, X, Y, and Z. So for us, we stand for fit, so that way you can take care of yourself to do what you need to do. And then profit is to really create that profit for whatever it is that success means for you. And that's what our brand is about.
Mm. When you say about profit, it means more of a benefit rather than the actual profit from money, but benefiting all aspects of your life.
Yes. Yes. And what's really interesting is I learned this concept where, you know, I learned that I know so many people that have the means to have everything in the world. But the interesting thing is they have everything to live on, but they don't have anything to live for.
Wow.
There's no one to live like the means and all the money to. Like, and honestly, no judgment. And of course, every single person has his or her own situation. But for me, I always want to make sure that I have everything to live for versus, I mean, money, there's always money to be made, but money can't buy happiness.
No, no.
It's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah. So talking about growing your business, and some of our audience are on this journey of building and growing their business. What is your proven strategy to grow your own business?
Yeah, I love this question so much because as a business strategist and a business performance coach, people always ask, what is your marketing strategy? What is your X, Y, and Z? I can tell you one thing, all of those tactics will always be obsolete at one point. Okay. Now, however, this everlasting strategy not only works now, it also going to work when the internet shuts down and everything else is building relationships. Building relationships, no matter what it is, especially if you are in business, you have to build good, great relationships with integrity. And what that really means is it starts with you really serving your clients 100% and making sure that they get the results that they want. That's relationship number one, right? After that is, can you also then take care of your colleagues? Can you also create, what we call JV partnerships and things like that? It's all about relationships. It's all about that. If you ask me how I've been able to do my business in this past 18 months, but also prior to that, this past 5-6 years, it's that, I mean, building relationship is the number one strategy that if anyone wants to master, that's how they're going to grow and thrive. That is my number one strategy.
Beautiful. You are talking about growing and thriving in your business. What major steps have you taken to up your game since you started your business?
Yes, and interestingly, it's related to the other question you just asked me is what strategy do I use to grow my business? It's building a relationship. And yes, how can I really up level is building a team.
Wow. Okay.
Building a team, same thing, right? It's another different way of building relationships because the reality of the thing is there's only 24 hours in the day. Yeah, we cannot do it all. Especially I have a 4-year-old and a 1-month and a 1-year-old. There's no way I'm going to be able to manage everything by myself. So this past year or year and a half has been all about building a team and really having the key players in your business that you can really leverage your time and talents with is so essential in the growth of your business. And of course, there's always stepping stone to get there. I mean, of course, it took me over 5 years to get here to really build a dream team, but it's possible. You can really start small, but what it takes is though, a vision of you making sure that you're not going to be working 80 hours a week. In fact, the model that we teach is how do you leverage so that way you can work less with a team. So that's what I would say. It's one of the biggest things that you really consider. The sooner you start hiring a team, the better. And when we hear to hiring a team, it may sound daunting if you are starting out or if you are new in business, but I can tell you, it doesn't have to be a full-time person. It could be just someone who is a VA that's going to be helping you out 5 hours a week. But if you can offload really tedious stuff that you don't want to do, that is going to really give you more time that you can do as a CEO, so you can strategize, so you can think about partnerships, so you can think about building relationships, so you can really make sure that your clients get the results that they want to get, that gets you the success that you want with building a team.
Fascinating to hear that, because a lot of business owners are really scared and skeptical of doing that. They think they can manage all, but then, as you said, we have only 24 hours in a day. And for you to move further and up level everything in your life, you need to be able to delegate some of those tasks.
Yeah, and I love that you're saying that. I'm going to use an example, because for some people, again, like starting out or new entrepreneurs, they always think, oh my God, I can't afford that. But here's what happens. Let's say when you are consulting your clients, let's say you get charged $350 per hour, right? When you're really building a website and you're not a professional, it's going to take you hours and hours and hours, and do the math. It could be 350 times 10. That's 3,500, right?
Yeah, some of the tasks that are so specialized, and take so much time to learn and so much skill, and it's just better to give it to a professional to do it in a quicker way, more efficient way, and then you can move on with your life and build your own business and be the CEO that you always meant to be.
Exactly.
It's moving me in the direction of asking about the community that you have built in the last couple of years. You said you've been in business 5 years now.
Yes, roughly almost. Yes. We launched our business in 2015. So almost 6 years at this point, by the beginning of next year. So the community we have actually has been interesting, and it has been transforming, I want to say the least. Is that when I first launched my business, everything was more in person, and everything was more in live events. But of course, with the array of everything, and I really wanted the time freedom and also location freedom, I actually have been starting to really transition my business over to the online space, especially within the last couple of years. This is even prior to the pandemic, because everything again was actually taking a lot of time out of my schedule when it comes to me meeting people in person, and then speaking events and things like that. Being in person events, actually, it's great and I love them, but it takes a lot of time for travel, to mention, and all of the things. So that's why my community has been transforming a bit in that sense, where most of my people are now from the online space. And I find that it's a great way to really leverage, getting to more people. And then now I feel like I'm actually serving many more now with our blogs, and then with the podcast that we have and everything. So, and that's in terms of our community, and it's continued to grow. So I'm really excited, of course, with your show and such like that. I'm really able to connect with so many more people than otherwise I wouldn't be able to.
Do you have any tricks or techniques of communicating to your customers and communicating effectively? Because yes, we can post a post on social media or send out email, but how do you do it effectively?
So that's a really, really great question. But in general, the rule of thumb is that I want to say you really have to get to know your audience, right? And to be able to communicate effectively is knowing to talk about what they want to hear. I know you're like, okay, that's really doesn't help me, but no, really take a step back, because I say that because when I first started with content marketing and all of the things, I wanted to talk and write about what I wanted to talk and write about. And what I realized was that, great, but I have to make it relevant for my audience, like for the people I'm serving. And then ultimately So then I can be effective in providing whatever it is that I need to provide in terms of tips and such like that. So that's first thing, is really knowing your audience and what they care about. And then secondly, I want to say people, including myself, I'm not the exception. Most of us have very short attention span. So the shorter, the sweeter. like effective communication would be short and sweet. Like, I mean, there is a time, I'm writing a book. So there's a time to write a book, but there's a time to write a blog that could be just literally a 3-minute read. So I would recommend to effectively communicate your point is to make sure it's short and sweet and to the point. And even if you do a live of any sort, make sure it's under like literally 3 minutes, because people really at these days, it's just don't have the time and attention. And then last but not least, the third thing is I want to really remind everyone, especially with social media, with everything, is to be yourself, is to be authentic. Because oftentimes it's like we don't listen to sometimes someone saying something because for whatever reason that the person didn't feel real somehow, right? Like maybe we can't really tell 100% of what's going on, but there's something that's off about the message, right? So again, to communicate effectively is to really just stay true to yourself and talk about something that you care about too. I'm not saying that only talk about something that, the audience cares about. No, you have to care about it too. But to really do that is to be authentic and really share your true point of view about whatever it is the topic is. So those were my 3 tips.
Yeah, that's so true. And who didn't receive an email that is like mile long with all different colors and backgrounds and fonts and you name it. So that's not effective at all. So like you said, short and sweet, to the point, and that will attract more of your customers and make it easy and accessible for them. So maybe providing a button or something so they can click on and take them straight to your calendar, or something short and sweet. So as we are coming to the end of this interview, do you have a gift for our audience? I hear you do.
Yes. So I am really excited. We have created one of our newest freebies, especially for this event, is an ebook that I wrote. So on the 7 proven secrets of what you need to do to go straight to 6 figures. So I would say check it out. And if you do it, it's short and sweet, 7 steps, but you can take on those 7 steps and really see the difference in your business.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for this generous gift to our audience. And make sure you download, whoever is watching, make sure you download and do it and follow the steps. Because a lot of times people just download and save it somewhere in the back. But if you are planning to improve your business and grow your business, that's amazing gift for our audience. So thank you very much, DeDee, and looking forward to meeting you again at another time.
Yes, thank you so much again, so much for listening to the audience. And yes, check out our website, www.fittoprofit.com, and you can get the gift there. And thank you, Edith, again for having me. It's been delightful.
Pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.